exclusive documents. Woke meddling led to $161 million being blown on the social justice passport revamp.
The question was, why is he deleting our veterans from our history? Why is he deleting the 3,598 Canadians who gave their lives so that Canada could have freedom and victory at Vimy? He is erasing them, and with that, he is insulting all of our veterans. The Prime Minister, why will the Prime Minister not stand up for our history, get connected to reality, and keep the images in our passport that make us so proud to be Canadian?
Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada blew $161 million of your tax dollars on a fancy new passport redesign. But guess what? It was all about virtue signaling and looking woke, while Canadians can't even get a passport on time, and we have the documents to prove it. Now, let's start with what we've learned from the government's own documents. We have those thanks to your financial support of our Access Filing Fund, rebelinvestigates.com. Now, here's what those documents reveal. Minister Marco Mendicino, back in May 2023, decided that instead of focusing on, streamlining services or fixing the massive passport backlog, it was far more important to redesign the passport to feature things like disabled cyclists, skiers, trains, coastal scenes, and even a basketball. That's right, a basketball. But it gets better or worse depending on how much you enjoy wasting taxpayer money, and if you're a Liberal, you love it. The Anti-Racism Secretariat jumped in on the whole redesign process to make sure the snowshoers were women and that some of the characters in this little booklet of Canada Light were Black. Because apparently, the passport isn't about your identity or functionality anymore. It's about identity politics. It's just another opportunity for the Liberals to prove how woke they are to the rest of the world, and you get to pay for it all. Now, here's where it really gets insulting. While the government was busy erasing historic Canadian imagery and replacing it with a politically correct picture book, Canadians are still waiting for their passports. That's right. If you've tried to renew your passport or get a new one for the first time recently, you know the pain. Long delays, broken systems, and utter chaos. A recent report from the Western Standard even highlighted how, despite throwing resources at the problem, Canadians are still waiting far too long to get their documents. The system is failing, the staffing surge hasn't solved it, and yet the Liberals thought, hey, now's a good time to throw $161 million at a passport redesign instead of fixing the problem with not being able to get your passport in the first place. And what's a passport supposed to do? It's supposed to be a secure, functional document that lets you travel and represents your country. But under this Trudeau government, it's become a vanity project for bureaucrats and a platform for political virtue signaling. Diversity is not our strength, it's the cause of our wait times. This is what the Liberals do best. They spend your money on their ideological pet projects while ignoring the actual problems Canadians face. You can't get your passport on time. Don't worry. When it finally arrives, you can admire the gender-balanced, racially diverse snowshoers and feel like you're living in Trudeau's dream world.
Right now, Mr. Speaker, veterans across the country are being reminded of what the Conservatives did around veterans. They wrap themselves in the flags and the symbols anytime they can. But in fact, they nickeled and dimed our veterans. They used them for photo ops. They shut down 9 veteran service offices across the country so they could try and save a little money through cuts. The fact is, Mr. Speaker, the Conservatives have always disrespected veterans while they wrap themselves in the imagery. We're going to continue to deliver for the veterans every single day.
Meanwhile, regular Canadians are left scrambling to deal with delays, missed trips, and unnecessary stress. The government doesn't care about you. They only care about looking good on the world stage. So next time you're waiting for hours, maybe days, to get through the passport process, just remember, they had $160 million to fix the system, but they decided to spend it on wokeness instead. Priorities, right? For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Thanks to everybody who made this important accountability journalism possible through their support at a special crowdfund, rebelinvestigates.com. We could not do this without you. That's rebelinvestigates.com.